So we're in Pardes Project, and started talking about it. This is very complex and very important at the same time. Complex sometimes we put for the otherworldly things. It's not for us. Unfortunately, we do need to understand this, and that is what is the Neshama? Where's the Neshama? And the delivery system of the Neshama to us. Very important because it really defines our whole essence and also our whole avodah. So I was thinking this morning that we say in Slichas Haneshama Lach, Haneshama Lach, V'Haguf Pa'alach, Chusa Ala Malach. That's what we say every day in Slichas. Haneshama Lach, V'Haguf Pa'alach, Chusa Ala Malach. Sounds like there's three things there. Haneshama Lach. What does that mean even by Haneshama Lach? What do those words even mean? We sing it, we say it. Haneshama Lach.
For you.
We also say
for you is not
Ownership.
Mima. What?
Ownership.
Ownership. Haneshama Lach.
No, Shalach is ownership.
Shalach.
Lach is for you.
And then we also say Haneshama Lach with Guf Shalach. What's the difference between Lach and Shalach?
Shem is a Shem. Shem is a Shem.
Everyone's saying big drushes. What are the words for it? I'm just saying. Haneshama Lach. What are the words in Hebrew? I don't know.
Shalach belongs to it.
We're talking to Hashem.
It's a lesson.
It's for you. It's either for you or to you.
So maybe the neshama was given to us to serve you. Haneshama Lach. Like if you come to my house and I offer you some cookies, I say, cookies Lach. Please. Haneshama Lach. So it means we're talking to Hashem, not Hashem talking to us. Haneshama Lach. Almost like it's either that or it means that it's like you're saying, Rabbi Yaacov, it's mamash like the essence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Haneshama Lach. V'Haguf. What's the relationship? Pa'alach. And Pa'alach means what?
Your handiwork, your work,
Or your worker.
You make work.
So I understood. I always understood it. Maybe I understood it correctly. I want to look into it. Let's get back to the end of this chabura. But I understood. What do you say, Reb Harry? Haneshama Lach v'Haguf Pa'alach.
I just know that Reb Zevin says that a higher madrega is Haneshama Lach, the Haguf Shalach. Afterwards,
The second
the
puzzle.
person has to do avoda to go from Pa'alach to Lach.
Right.
Shalach.
So, right? Okay, I like that. But what I'm understanding, what I always understood, is that the statement that we're making at the end of Slichas, at the beginning of Slichas, which is at the end of the first tefillah, is that Haneshama Lach v'Haguf Pa'alach. The bottom line is, we're here entirely for you, Hashem. Haneshama Lach, Haguf Pa'alach, and even a higher madrega, Haneshama Lach, V'Haguf Shalach, right? Chusa ala Malach. So we have Rachmanis. We're Chusa ala Malach. This is all. We're all here for you. In other words, this is all about you. Let's see if. That's why I always understood it when I say
Why
it.
is this on the cable?
I don't know.
Aramaic.
It's Aramaic. Shechina is always Lashon Nekeva. That which is Mekabel is always Lashon Nekeva. So that which gives the or is Lashon Zachar, that's Hashem. And that which receives the or is always Lashon Nekeva.
So
The Neshama could be the receiver of the or. And Neshama Lach. To the Lach part of you. Just put aside for a second. I just want to point out that it's so important that every day at Slichas at the very beginning, we make a statement about our own soul. So what we learned here in Parak Tezvav is that there are Gimel B'chinos. I'll just go over it outside for a moment. There's Naran, Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Naran, and what happens is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives, the Gemara really gives a mashal to a glass blower. The Gemara is not talking about the Neshama per se. The Gemara is talking about Tchias HaMesim related to the Neshama, but Reb Chaim ingeniously extracts it and extrapolates it to the Neshama, because that's what Tchias HaMesim is. But that there's the glass blower, right? The glass blower. There's the pipe that he blows into, which implies intrinsically that there's some type of a distance between, the purpose of that pipe, I add, is to create a distance between the end and the beginning. And then there's the glass that's being blown. So the nefesh is the glass, the ruach obviously is the windpipe, the shofar, and the neshama, nefesh, ruach, neshama refers to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It doesn't mean HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but it means of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaNeshama lach. HaNeshama lach. So, in other words, the first part of a process, we're talking about a process here. So Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, we derive from the Nefesh Hachaim, doesn't mean that there's three things, a Nefesh, a Ruach, and a Neshama, the way we always understand it. Right ventricle, left ventricle. We understand that Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Naran refers to a process which ends with Nefesh, comes about delivered through Ruach, it starts with Neshama. So keep in your mind that it's permitted to keep in our minds, because Reb Chaim Volozhin tells us to keep in mind that glass blowing mashal of Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama. And therefore, says the Nefesh Hachaim, Bechinas HaNeshama, if you can find it inside, Hi HaNeshama Atzma, Neshama, I'm sorry, Bechinas HaNeshama, Hi HaNeshima Atzma. The actual breath, which is traveling, is called the Neshama. The actual breath, the actual air, Hevel Piv Kivyach, which is traveling, is called the Neshama. Neshama is the breath of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Not our breathing, and not what we are, but the actual breath of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shepnimius atzmusa, says Rabbi Nefesh Hachaim, mistateres behelem. Because the pnimius atzmusa mistateres, this is the breath, is the pnimius atzmusa, the essence, the pnimius and the essence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mantadofach midilei kanafach, Lashon HaZayar, is mistateres behelem, gets hidden, behelem, mistateres behelem. It's like a double lashon. Umakaira, but its source in the mashal of the glass bar, Baruch Kivyachol, b'toich neshimas piv yisparach shmai, it Makaira Baruch. You know, Agav, when we bless our children on Erev Yom Kippur, so we say Umakairech Baruch. So the our scroll the translation of it is Makarech Baruch is that you should have a Makar, which is Baruch. You yourself should produce beautiful children. Makarech Baruch, but that's not what it means. What the bracha comes from a pasuk, which refers to the neshama. Makarech Baruch, the makar of your neshama should be Baruch. That's what it really means. You should have a beautiful neshama.
Isn't that B'diavad?
B'diavad. What?
Kids are already born.
No, but we used to learn. You're getting in neshama all the time. Process. Then he says, "She'ein atzmus mahusa nichneses klal b'toich guf adam." You can't say the mahus of Hashem, the essence of Hashem, is going into the guf adam. It's not like we're walking around with God inside of us. But what you have is the Adam Arishan Kaidem Achet Zachal Atzmusa. Adam Arishan before the Chet, this confuses us entirely, received the essence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu within him. Ubesibas HaChet, but once he did the Chet, Nistalka Mitoichai, it left him V'nishara Rak Koifefes Olav, and now it's just hovering over him. So, do you hear a stira here? The stira is, on the one hand, he says, the same sentence. He says that the neshama goes into us. Hi neshima atza shepnimius atzmusa mistateres ba'elam. The neshama goes into us. This is the kivyachol, the shima of HaKadosh Baruch Hu goes into us, and it's hidden within us. Umakaira, the other end of the pipe, Baruch Kiviyachol, B'toich Neshimas Bivis Baruch Shmai. So we're sort of connected, unlike the glass, which you move the glass away from the pipe, and it's still glass, right? But the difference is this, that the Neshama is connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu all the time, and therefore that breath is hidden inside of us being the glass. It's hidden there, it's there, but it's hidden. Right? Atzmusa mistateres bahelem. And then he says that b'sibas hachet, that once we did the chet of Adam Arisha, nistalka mitoichai, it left us v'nishara rach chayfefes alav. And now the neshama is just up here, chayfefes alav. So which one is it? Is it hidden within us, or is it chayfefes alav?
And there's a Kadosh Baruch Hu still connected to that. Hashem, that's Chofefes.
So what happened at the chet of Adam Arisha? What was it? The pipe was removed?
Basically.
It seems that way.
It was blown over our head.
You see Adam Rishon, does he also mean Chava or only Adam Rishon? Because Adam Rishon was created by Hashem, was the first person created in the world. So maybe he was different than every other person afterwards. That he had some sort of like
Until the chet. Yeah, but Chava was Adam.
Maybe he wouldn't have sinned. I'm saying maybe
Chava was Adam. I mean.
Maybe he wouldn't have sinned. Maybe somehow would be different. He'll be different than everyone else.
Okay, but that's not what he's saying. Sibas hachet.
Right. I'm saying that's should be the world.
Rabbi, at least my small understanding is that it had to do with the messing up of the Kehillat. That his Kehillat is no longer able to receive and absorb the pureness of it.
I'm with you.
And the same thing with the island. The whole island went down one level. It's the same thing. It was the same thing with the Kehillat. So as close as you can get to being in the Kehillat, okay, would be why get over it? Because
So I'm with you. I'm just asking the following question. In the beginning of the sentence says that Pnimius Atzmusa, the Atzmusa of HaKadosh Baruch Hu mistateres behelem, is hidden within us.
I think it's Atzmusa.
And then the second part of the sentence is V'nishara rach chayfefes olav.
That's a steer.
That's my passion.
I think Pnimius Atzmusa is talking about Pnimius of the Neshima, not Pnimius of
Atzmusa.
Atzmusa is the Neshima.
How can it be Atzmusa?
B'chinas haneshama hi neshima atzma of Hashem, shepnimius atzmusa mistateres behelem.
In other words, the beginning of this passage is not referring to Adam Arisha, it's referring to us.
Which passage?
This Omnam
Yes.
Arisha, it's referring to us.
Us.
And at the end, it says, but
Since Adam Maria, okay, there was a time that so it's like we're trying to chop the wind from the glass blower's pipe, but really it's chayfefes alav. Or there's another possibility. We could ask: is it the pshat that the neshama goes within us, but we can't find it in there somehow? It's mistateres, which he says, or is it the pshat that we're not getting it? It's chayfefes alav. That's the stira.
Well, shouldn't the answer then have to be in degrees? And what we end up with is something like a recording or an echo of the information, but as close as it gets, that's what's good for this at this point. We had it then, we had the whole thing. But now
He's not talking. It's not inside of us, the neshama.
the message is the
Pnimius atzmusa
reflection.
mistateres behelem.
That means it's hidden. It
Reflection
doesn't mean
is-
it's with us. It's sitting out there.
We have a Nefesh
Yeah,
Hachaim,
that's
that's what makes it
It's
function. And we have
an
the
influence
No.
of the Chofefes of the
It doesn't go into us. Except the lower end of it.
Let me just go back a paragraph. I'm sorry. B'chinas haruach hu b'derech eru milmala shechelik v'kotze elyon shalai kasher v'nachas l'mala b'b'chinat tachtay nishal neshama. The way ruach works is it starts up by HaKadosh Baruch Hu at the b'chinat tachtay nishal neshama mishtal shelesh v'nichneses gam b'toich guf ha'adam u'miskasher sham b'b'china ha'elyon shal ha'nefesh. First he tells us that the neshama starts with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and it goes into the nefesh. Like pouring liquid into our, like imagine one of those charts that here's a goof, and like, you can see like the level going up like a thermometer, ye'ora v'toichenu, and changing our spiritual color. Eshpoiches ri'chus, mushpa ba'odam derech shvicha ve'erui, goes into us. Like I'm going to explain. Then he says, Amnam bechinas neshama hi aneshimas atzma. The neshama refers to the breath of Hashem. Shepnimius atzmusa mistateres behela.
That's outside. There's different.
Why is it behelam outside? It's
No, there's different parts. There's the air that's in the glass below his mouth. That part of the air doesn't go into the glass.
what's hidden?
The part of the air that's in the glass below his mouth, it's hidden.
Why is it hidden?
Because it's not.
It's not hidden. It's
We can't
only
see it.
hidden
The
when it gets
glass can't
out.
see it. The glass is on the other side of the pipe.
I don't think it's the right shot.
I think where this is going, if you looked at one paragraph before that, where he spoke about Nefesh, he says that is kulo b'toch guf adam. Mashma.
And he says that this is the other end of the pipe, the nefesh.
It's not kulo b'toch guf adam.
And now he's saying it's chofefes Allah. So it's like the pipe is missing us. So I'm saying, is it missing us or is it not? You could say, you could say two ways. You could say the pipe, like, we did a chet adam marisha, and we're just not getting this neshama, the way we used to. Okay. Or you could say, we're getting the neshama, but somehow it's mistateres, v'nelam, v'socheru. That's the kasha. So,
We said before that it goes in and then it goes back up. So we already know that there's the idea of it being back up. Maybe there's less of it staying within us, but it does go back up.
so what's chofefes Allah?
That once it's up,
On the way out.
it's already it's above us, but it doesn't stay within us.
Okay, let's try to understand something here. The Gemara says, Daf Yud. Who's the Gemara? Gemara says that Mar Ukva was saying over Agadata to Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi. Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi was the Makubal Adar, Tzaddik Adar. Mar Ukva, not bad. So Mar Ukva is talking to Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi. Omar Le, and this is what he darshan in front of Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi. My dechsiv, it says in the pasuk, Baruchi nafshi es Hashem b'chol kravai Hashem kachak. We're familiar. By the way, let's learn like adults. Baruchi nafshi. What does that mean? What does baruchi mean? Baruchi. No. Tivarech nafshi. Nafshi mevarech. What's baruchi nafshi? Baruchi.
Command.
Who blesses what?
The Neshama should give a bracha, bless Hashem.
Command.
Again, you're saying drushes. What's the translation? Baruchi. Where does that word mean?
It's command.
You bless.
David HaMelech is saying Baruchi.
Is blessed?
Did you ever hear anybody say Baruchi?
It's the same
Unless you're a Gilad Zianer. Baruchi es Hashem Avodah. Huh?
Why not? Referring to his nefesh in the cave, and then he says et Hashem, so clearly he's commanding his nefesh.
So Baruchi
Nafshi.
Nafshi es Hashem.
My soul
Translate
should
the
bless.
phrase. Means what?
My nefesh, please bless Hashem.
May my nefesh please bless Hashem.
What is that?
You're saying what?
What does it sound like?
What is that?
I don't know. But I don't know what the word
What do the
Baruchi.
words mean? That's what.
Yeah, Baruchi nafshi es Hashem b'chol krovai. Let's take the second part of the pasuk, which makes sense according to what you're saying. Chol krovai, in my whole innards, Hashem katsha. So says, okay, great pasuk. So says Mar Ukva as follows. Amar lei, it says Baruchi nafshi 5 times. Amar lei boyerei shaloi kemidas hakadosh baruch hu midas bazar v'dam. Go to the cane main point over here. Let's to save time. He said, Marukva said his thing. I want to get to the main thing. He said to Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi, Amar Lei, so Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi said, Ana hachi kami nalach. This is what I want to tell you what it really means. Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi is now teaching us something, so let's stand up. Hani chamisha barchi nafshi keneged mi amr David. What is David HaMelech saying 5 times barchi nafshi as Hashem? What's he mean? Like amaran ela keneged HaKadosh Baruch Hu keneged Neshama. He was talking about 5 times, meaning 5 times he's talking about Hashem, and 5 times he's talking about the Neshama. And here it goes. Ma Kadosh Baruch Hu, here goes Rabbi Shimon Levi. Ma Kadosh Baruch Hu, Malay Kol Olam. Hashem fills up the whole world. Af Neshama Malaya Kol Haguf. Ma Kadosh Baruch Hu Roya Ve'eno Nireh. Just like a Kadosh Baruch Hu can see, but he cannot be seen. Af Neshama Roya Ve'eno Nireh. It sees, but it cannot be seen. Ma Kadosh Baruch Hu Zanas Kol Olam Kulai, just like Hashem is sustaining the entire world. Af Neshama Zana Es Kol Haguf. Ma Kadosh Baruch Hu Tahar, meaning you can't be Matame HaKadosh Baruch Hu no matter what you do. Af Neshama Tahira. You can't be Matame, you're Neshama. That was 4. Ma HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yoshev Bechedrei Chadorim, Af Neshama Yosheves Bechedrei Chadorim. By the way, Rashi is Ben Azmanim over here. He just, it was like, he's gone.
I mean, it's special. He doesn't need to
Right. I have nothing to say. He was smart, and here I am talking, right? Says Rabbi Shlomo Levi, Yavoi mi sheyesh boi chamisha dvarim ha'ela, v'yishabeach l'mi sheyesh boi chamisha dvarim halol. That I, the person who has these 5 properties, Yavoi mi, that's talking about me, right? Me, sheyesh boi chamisha dvarim halol, v'yishabeach l'mi sheyesh boi chamisha dvarim halol. So Rabbi Shlomo Levi said, here's the teaching for you. The David HaMelech said, Barchi nafshi es Hashem 5 times, because there's 5 bechinas to my neshama. There's 5 aspects of my neshama, and I'm going to it. I'm with my neshama. I'm going to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu that has the same 5 aspects. Now, certainly, this doesn't mean that the neshama is Hashem, but there's some kind of a parallel here between the neshama and Hashem. So the neshama has 5 aspects to it, very similar 5 aspects to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Maybe that's what it means when it says, I'm adding B'Tselem Elokim, Baras Ha'adam, that Hashem created man, B'Tselem Elokim. So in other words, we have many similarities to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in terms of our neshama, in terms of our tselem. So it means that just like our neshama has 5 aspects, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has 5 aspects, and it makes sense that these 5 will bless those 5. Couple of points. Number 1, let's clear in the Gemara. No Rashi, I have nothing.
What was the pasuk he said? Nish yesh. What you start?
How's the Gemara go?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Ma HaKadosh Baruch Hu yosh afrik. Yavoi mi sheyesh boi chamisha dvarim halalu. Yavoi mi sheyesh boi chamisha dvarim halalu. That means you. V'yishabeach lemi, and you should say shvach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you and David. Lemi sheyesh boi chamisha dvarim halalu.
It sounds like that, other than one of them, it sounds like it could, when it talks about Neshama, it could be talking about the general Neshama, as we talked about, really means all of them, right? Nefesh Neshama, other than the one that says Tahor. Tahor is the one that can't be Mitame, or the other parts can be, right?
Reb David is speaking like a Talmud Chacham.
And Hazan is the one that
A couple of diukim before you explain. First of all, it seems to me to Mefurish in the Gemara, Af Neshama Malaya is Kol Haguf. That's not like the Nefesh Hachaim says, no?
Unless it's like I was saying, that terminology is one component, not necessarily.
So you have to be miyashev the stira. I'm sorry for flying all around the place here. That the beginning of the Nefesh Hachaim is talking about one part of the neshama, and the second part of the Nefesh Hachaim, Chofefes, Allah is talking about another part of the neshama. I'm with you. I believe that is the sophisticated answer to this dilemma here. talking about different parts of the neshama. But here you see Mefurish in the Gemara that ma neshama, ma Kadosh Baruch Hu, rather, maloi kol ha'olam, af neshama malaya kol hagul. Question 2 is Kadosh Baruch Hu maloi kol ha'olam? Maloi kol ha'aretz? Kivoto. Shechina. Kadosh Baruch Hu, this is very dangerous stuff. It's very dangerous, very pantheistic to start saying that Hashem is Malay Kol Ha'olam Kulai, that Hashem is everywhere. You say Malay Kol Ha'aretz Kivoto. We're Question 3 is, why did David HaMelech say Baruchi Nafshi? Baruchi Nishmasi. The whole drasha of Yeshua ben Levi here is talking about my neshama. So David HaMelech, Tadayik b'milascha. You're not talking to a bunch of newbies here. We're talking. If you're talking about the neshama, why are you talking about the nefesh? Baruchi Nafshi. That's Hashem.
We discussed this already. That it depends on the perspective.
Okay. Comes Reb David. He says that nefesh, ruach, neshama, chaya, yechida. There's 5 parts to the neshama. Hadam hu nefesh is the lowest part. We learned this in the Ramchal over and over again. The nefesh, Hadam hu nefesh is the lowest part of the neshama. And the highest part of the neshama is called the neshama gufa, or really nefesh ruach neshama even higher, chaya yechida, maybe beyond our comprehension. So the highest part of the neshama is yechida, and the lowest part of the neshama is nefesh. And what I posited last time we learned is that when Hashem is talking, he talks about neshama. Why doesn't he talk about yechida? Too high. He talks about neshama for us. When we're talking about it going from down to up, we're talking about nefesh. Incidentally, I mean, if you'll just for the sake of remez, that Baruchi Nafshi is gematria 1099, like the taxes, 1099, 1099, and so is nefesh ruach neshama chaya yechida, 1099. You want to think about that for a few minutes?
Any more taxes? Is that
Don't cheat on your 1099. That's the 1099. The 1099. The only reason I remember this is because of this. Is don't cheat on your 1099. The 1099 is nefesh ruach neshama chaya yechida. 99. Baruchi nafshi. So what David HaMelech was really saying clearly is, so a remez in the gematria can't be an accident, such a thing, right? What David HaMelech is saying, I'm saying nafshi, but I mean nefesh ruach neshama chaya yechida. Baruchi nafshi, I mean the whole thing. Nefesh ruach neshama chaya yechida. Say it. What?
As I said before, it all comes down to the kelim.
Okay. Okay. So we're getting. I'm trying to work this to get some clarity here. So, you see, hold that there for a minute. We have 5 things: nefesh, ruach, neshama, chaya, yechida. Nefesh is us, the goof of a person. Nefesh, ruach, goes into the goof. Haneshama yeredas l'toich haguf. You see the Reb Chaim HaKadosh says, I believe that Lech lecha me'artzecha me'moladetecha me'beis avicha el ha'aretz asher areka. Lech lecha me'artzecha me'moladetecha is talking to the neshama. Lech lecha. Lech lecha me'artzecha Mimoladetcha, Beis Avicha, Elo Aretz Asher Areka. That's the goof. You don't even know the neshama is on this journey here, and ends up the Toch HaGuf, the neshama. You can just see HaKadosh Baruch Hu standing in Shemayim, telling the neshama, "Okay, I've got a job for you. Where am I going? Not telling you, right? Lech lecha Elo Aretz Asher Areka ve'esecha l'goy gadol, and you will become great there. You will bring greatness into the world. You will become great." So the journey, same amount, right? The same things. That lech lecha me'artzecha. The Balei Kabbalah understand that artzecha is lashon atzilus and etc. Atzilus, bria, yitzira, asiya, elo aretz. The lowest part, asher areka. And you're going to the goof, you don't even know what nisyonos you're going to have. You don't even know what challenges are going to confront you as a neshama working in the goof. Ha-neshama lach v'haguf pa'alach. I'm sending you into this goof, like he sent to Avram Avinu. In this case, Avram Avinu is the mashal, not the nimshal. So I'm sending Avram Avinu into the world. To you, you are ki'ilu Avram Avinu. You are the neshama of the world. And you're not going to lose anything by this. So what you're doing is Avram Avinu, you're in a comfortable place. Kilu. Person's comfortable. Rashi tells us that when you go badarech, you're mamayit, you lose your friends, you lose your money, you lose your puravu, you lose everything, right? Mamayit. So the neshama is going down on neshama. You read this l'toich haguf. It's the same makbil to Elikai. Neshama shenosata bi'ata varasa, ata yitzarta, bria, yitzira, ata nefachta bi. And then finally it was nefachta bi. V'ata meshamra b'kirbi. V'ata asid likla mimeni. L'achzira bi. L'asad lave there'll be a tchias hamesim. Hence the connection that the Pardes Project we all made between tchias hamesim and the neshama and the guf. So, to Varasa, the neshama starts off. By the way, also very interesting. All this, I feel that all this will gel as you think about it. That Ata Varasa, the neshama starts in the world of Bria. Ata Yitzarta, it's moving along into the world of Yitzira. Ata Nefachta, that's already a low madrega. That's already in the world of Asiya. Ata Meshamer Bekirbi, that's the guf. Lech lecha me'artzecha me'latzecha me'beis avicha el ha'aretz asher areka. So what we're talking about is that the neshama comes with a mission. We're at the end of the mission, the nefesh and the guf for that matter. Ha-neshama lach v'haguf pa'alach. That's really taking it to the history. V'haguf pa'alach, you made a guf to be the keli, to be makabel, this neshama. And this is what we're saying at Slichus. We're putting back into perspective everything that we are existentially. The perspective is that even our guf, it has its needs, right? We need to drink water, we need to do stuff. But even our guf, pa'alach, you made it mostly to be a carrier of this neshama. Is it possible to say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the entire world to be able to carry the Shem Hashem, which is going to come to them through Avraham Avinu? And that becomes Ve'eschel Ve'gadol. Not just going to be you, you're going to have a whole nation of Jews, Mamleches Kohen and Am Kodesh, which are going to carry this, not just message of don't cheat on your 1099, but don't cheat on your 1099. That is coming, Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, Yechida. It's coming all the way to the world. You, Avraham Avinu, are, in other words, I'm saying even Pashat of Pshat. You, Avraham Avinu, are the soul of the world. You are the neshama of the world, and we need to understand ourselves that we're the Goy Gadol that he was talking about there. It's us. So the Goy Gadol's job is to be the neshama of the world. Like it's even more than the conscious of the world. It's not just even the moral conscious of the world. The neshama of the world. And what now we're saying in the Gemara, Ma'akadosh Baruch Hu Malay kol ha'olam af neshama malaya is called haguf. So let's go again. Nefesh, ruach, neshama, chaya, yechida. But the part of it, the part of the neshama that touches ground is the nefesh. But the nefesh is malaya kol haguf, and that's the end of the neshama gufa. In other words, there's no stira here, gentlemen. There's no stira. Because what we're talking about is a blower and a pipe and an end product. Nobody needs to say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu came through the pipe and now is sitting with inside of us. It's ridiculous, apokarsis. What we are saying is that there's a koach from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the neshama of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that came, Ata Varasa, Ata went through all these things, Ata Varasa, Ata Yitzarta, and Ata Nefachta Bi. And here it is in my goof, and I am the end of that pipe, and I'm having not Hashem, but the neshama, which started off in its hishtalshelus in the world of Atzilus and higher, Chaya Yechida, and it came down. Baruchi Nafshi is Hashem, Keneged Chamos Nafshi, Baruchi Nafshi, Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Nafshi, that's Hashem. Even in the Pashat of Shad is my Nefesh is doing the bracha, and David said, I don't know if you realize how deep what you said was. That what's a bracha? Baruchi nafshi. I want to start off with what's baruchi. What is a bracha? So the Nefesh Hachaim himself explains later that a bracha is a lashon of brecha, like a spring. So it doesn't refer to what's coming from top to bottom. It's referring to the other direction on its dusi tree. So it's referring to the other direction of the bottom that we are like ma'ayan hamiskaber. Mayan HaMiskaber, like it says the Talmidim of Rabbi Yochanan Menzakai, Kemayan HaMiskaber, they took what was given to them, like Avram Avinu. They took what was given to them, and Baruchi Nafshi, now David HaMelech is saying, think how beautiful and how pashut this is. David HaMelech is saying 5 times, and for that matter with the whole Tillim, and for that matter with his whole life, he's saying that I am giving out from what you gave me. That pipe that you blew into me, I'm now sharing that with the entire world. Baruchi Nafshi is Hashem. Hallelujah. That's what he said. By the way, read the Baruchi Nafshi next time. It's Rosh Chodesh. read the Baruchi Nafshi. He's talking about the world of Gashmius, isn't it? Right. The waves know where to stop, and the animals know when to bark, and it's all talking about the world of science, the world of Gashmius, the beautiful world of nature. That's what he's talking about over here. That's the Nefesh. But the Nefesh is attached B'zeh Chazeh to the Chaya, Nefesh, Baruchi Nafshi, Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, Yechida, 1099. So we need to understand the flow. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I think, that kares, chas v'shalom, kares means to cut off. As the Rebbe said in Cheder, when I went to Cheder, the cut off punishment. Who's cutting off who from what? It's right there. It's being cut off when you block, when you strangulate the wind, and you don't let it go connect because there's 2 ways, there's 2 things going on over here. But if you don't let this goof connect to the nefesh, to connect to the ruach, to connect to the neshama, to connect to the chaya, to connect to the yechida, to connect to the Ribbono Shel Olam, so what you're doing is you've cut off all that energy from the goof. So now you're a goof, a labedik goof, the Walking Dead.
Was Chaya and Yechida originally an Adam Rishon?
It could be that's what he means. That the original, I blew everything into Adam Rishon, but with the Chet, it became Choyfefes Allah. What was Choyfefes Allah? By the way, you said this. I'm just saying it out. Maybe in a bit of a more complicated logic, because it was too simple before. What it means is that, yes, of course, there's an aspect. How Nefesh Hachaim is not going to argue with the fact that we have a neshama, and a neshama should asato be tahirahi. He's not going to argue with clear tefillos and that the neshama yeredas l'toich haguf, clear lashon hazayar. But we're talking about what? There's part of the neshama which is in us, and it's there to be b'chai. Ma neshama zon, ma HaKadosh Baruch Hu zonas kol ha'olam kulai. Does Hashem have to be in the world? Of course Hashem is in the world. Hashem is everywhere. Hashem is here, Hashem is there, Hashem is everywhere. But what it means is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu zones kol ha'olam kulai. The world is not cut off. The world is not bekares. You know what happens when the world is bekares? Mabul. Destruction. Toichacha. That's what happens when the world is cut off from this life source. But it's so important. The whole idea here of what he's teaching us is to be connected. Now, I explained that basic thing. I just want to say something here. It's always said that this Nefesh Hachaim is coming la'afuke the Balatanya, because in the Balatanya, throughout, just open the Tanya, just do what the Lubavitchers do, open anywhere and see what it says. But open it, I'll tell you what it says, anywhere you open it up. It says that a person is walking around with God inside of him. That's what it says. That we are all a Kehillat Shivtei Yeshurun, mamish perik vav, perik tes, perik chaf aleph, perik kuf beis. This is the whole Yesod B'Shar, the whole Shaar Tshuva of the Balatanya. It's all talking about how Hashem is inside of us. And what?
Isn't that semantics, though, the difference between
Mamish semantics, because it just depends on what you're talking about. That's all, So it gets into a discussion, which in the next 2 minutes I'm not going to elaborate on, but it gets into the discussion of tzimtzum. So tzimtzum means that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is mitzamtzem his essence into the bria. Tzimtzum. The Balatanya, people like to talk about the Tanya of Tzimtzum Gomor. And the Vilna Gaon says, what's Tzimtzum Gomor? What's Tzimtzum Gomor? The Gaon understood this better than I did, maybe better than the Balatanya. Let's understand what we're talking about. Doesn't mean that the whole HaKadosh Baruch Hu ran through the pipe and is sitting here in this world and squeezed himself into the pipe. Tzimtzum, that's not what it means. It means that there's an aspect of the Ruach Hashem, Ruach HaKodesh, which comes through the pipe into the Nefesh, into the Guf even. And that's what we have here. It's mitzumtzum into the Guf. Does the Nefesh Hachaim argue with that? No. Everybody's saying the same thing. What he's saying is, don't make a mistake and take that teaching literally, because that's not even what he meant. Didn't mean to say that there's some kind of a pantheistic level over here. So you got to be careful with our phraseology. We talk about, we're walking. It's so spiritual to feel that we have God within us. It's also silly. We are b'tselem alikim. There's similarities, and then there's a connection. So Baruchi nafshi is Hashem. I am connected b'zachar zeh like a yishtalshalos, like a chain, up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So what's the tzimtzum in? Let me tell you the lashon of the Kabbalah. The sefer Rav Chaim, which is the sefer musmach of the Arizal, written by Rav Chaim Volozhin. The Arizal went over. That's the one that the Arizal went over. Rav Chaim. So he says the very first thing that he says in the sefer Rav Chaim Perek Aleph. He says that never think that when we're talking about the Or Ein Sof, that we're talking about Hashem. We're talking about the Or Ein Sof, the Or which comes from Hashem, that which emanates from Hashem. Which means what? Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, Yechida. And he says in second Yesod is, if you want to understand the sefer Rav Chaim, is never think that when we're talking about the Neshama, we're talking about the Neshama. We're talking about the Or of the Neshama. When we're talking about Tzimtzum, we're not talking about Tzimtzum of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I don't even know what that would mean, but it's not. There's no such thing. What we're talking about is the tzimtzum of the Or Ein Sof into a person. It's gewaldic enough. We're talking about. There's no machlekes here. There's only lanias daiti. I know I'm saying something. I'm arguing with thousands of gedolim, but I'm making peace between two gedolim. Nobody's talking about whether HaKadosh Baruch Hu is mitzamtzem into the world. Nobody's talking about that. The Christians talk about that. That's not. Nobody Jewish talks about that. It's philosophically untenable to say that God is walking around in this world as a human being. That's already wrong. What is possible, and is true according to the tradition that we have, is that there's that our nefesh, mamish, the dam of the person, is connected to the ruach, which is connected to the neshama, which is connected to the chaya, which is connected to the yechida, which somehow comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and at the end of the day, it's blown into us. Ato barasa, ato nefachta bi, ato yitzarta barasa, ato yitzarta, ato nefachta bi. That's what's possible. And don't misunderstand it, says the Gra. Don't misunderstand the Balatanya by saying that it's HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is mitzvah. It says Or. And there's no problem. So, should I worship the Or of HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Of course not. You worship the Or? It's silly. You don't worship the Or. Worship from He who the Or came from. You could, but you don't worship the Or. It is tempting to worship the Or because it's so fabulous. Hence, all of the Avodah Zarah of the world, as the Rambam says at the beginning of Hilchos Avodah Zarah, so much Or. You know, what was the first thing they worshipped? The sun. The sun is so much Or, right? And then the Kechavim, which were the recipients of the light of the sun. And then the Mazoles, which are the recipients of the Or of the Kechavim. It's all. You don't worship that. That's just being superficial. Just like you don't kill the messenger, you don't worship him either. My Rebbe used to always say, you know, if you tell him, you know, I'll send a shliach to apologize. You know, I did something wrong. Send a shliach to apologize. He used to say, apologize yourself. Don't send a shliach. You can't ask Mechila, you say shliach. Mechila has to be straight. Why? Because he said shliach shaladam k'moisa. It's like a mace. Shliach shaladam k'moisa. They're shliach shalom k'moisa. Yes, but it's not k'moisa. It's not k'moisa. If you send a shliach to be menachem avel somebody, is it the same as being menachem avel somebody? If you send a shliach to be mevakar chayla, is it the same as being mevakar chayla? If you send a shliach to the chuppah to marry your wife, how's that? Shliach shalom k'moisa. It works. There's a kedusha, but it's yes. Oh yeah, right. Couldn't make it today. It's not the correct thing. So what I just wanted to throw out over here for your further consideration is that what we're talking, we have to be machalik, begadol, between the Or Hashem and Hashem. Hashem leis machshava tfisa bei. Or that's something we can manage. That's something which we have inside of us. That's something we can learn about. That's something we can do something with. And that's why this is so important. So there is that part of the neshama, says Reb Chaim Volozhin, just to sum this whole thing up, which is choyfefes alav. And then there's that part of it, that which is nisteres b'toicheinu. It's hidden there. And it becomes our job to find it. And to be megala that Or. We have an Or of our neshama. You have to take the Or. Have to be sometimes hard to find. Sometimes hard to find.
Why is by Elokai's everything is past tense versus continuous?
Well, it turns into present tense as you keep reading. Right. Because
But
there is the one.
Did and not longer.
Rav Kook says that the reason is because there was the one blowing of neshama into the whole world, and then there was the neshama that each one of us received. But maybe that's a different subject. So hence we understand. Let's understand this. Is Hashem, Hallelujah. The secret of 1099.
He once told us a story about Rebbetzin Shane asked Rav Shandberg, where is Hashem? I think if I remember correctly, you said Hashem is where the world is. I think that's if you said it that way around. It's where Hashem is where the world is.
Yeah. Ein olam koyim.